Hey guys, it's Brian O'Connor, co-founder of GDY here.
And I'm Tyla Thomas.
And we are behind the scenes for one of our creative colors.
Nasty.
I really want to know how you got started in hair and doing this. Where in your career did Rico come into play?
So I've been doing hair since I was like 12 or 11.
Okay.
I started off like doing my mom's hair before she would go out into the club, and then she would like just start bringing her friends. She's like, oh, Tyla did this one hair from this magazine, and I would just keep trying, and I did that all the way up into high school. I met Rico 2018. I was like super obsessed because I feel like she like birthed a lot of like us like alt girls like in high school. I really just went for it one day. Like I kept watching her live during COVID, and I was like, babe, I'm just gonna write her. I don't know how to get in contact with her, but I'm gonna write her. I wrote her on her live, like, I can do your hair. I can do your hair real good. I don't know if she saw me, so I DM'd her again. And I was just like, Queen, I love you. Like, let me hook you up. And it really started from there. I feel like we were immediately like on the same page, like on our first phone call.
How old were you about? Like
I was 19.
And you just...
Yeah, and I've been with her since.
Like, that's crazy. I'm not that brave to like put myself out there. I knew since I was 12 that I wanted to do hair. Growing up, my best friend, her mom was a hairstylist, so I constantly was around it. Do you remember like the first time that you did your mom's hair, the first hairstyle that you did?
Yeah, it was this wig. It was like a shake and go Milky Way wig, and like she was very like good at showing me like costuming, like old costuming and different movies and stuff. And so one day, I can't remember the film, but I saw this lady, Zsa Gabor, her like really fun updo, and I loved my mom in an updo. I said, you're going to work
in an updo.
With that updo. And she was like, I don't have anything. And I was like, let's swoop here and swoop here. And I got that wig on, and you know, it did look a little crazy when I look back at those photos, but I just remember my mom being so gagged. Like I used to carry this photo around like in my book bag. I was like obsessed with this updo.
I would just spend hours doing updos. I used to do it just for fun.
Yeah.
Like one of the biggest things was getting really good at doing a blowout, like round brush blowout, and that was big when I was in hair school. I was the only white boy in an all black hair school, basically.
This is in Tennessee?
In Nashville, yeah.
Oh my God.
I learned everything I know from amazing black women.
Yes.
Like Miss Connie, my teacher, everything I like learned was because of them. I have personally been a fan of your work with Rico, not just with Rico, but I feel like that's where I was first introduced to your work and you as an artist. You have and use a lot of GDY and have used it on Rico, and we've gotten fortunate enough to be able to repost your work and your art, and it's amazing. I'm just curious about how you found GDY and like how you got into it and why you keep using it.
No, of course, the queen, you know? I feel like I've been a fan of Hayley for a long time.
Yeah.
Post-COVID, I was really looking for something like dependable. I mixed a lot of shades from like a bunch of different brands before and stuff like that. One day, this stylist, Lindsay, was on set, and she like saw me like kind of like OD back there. Like I needed to like touch up some stuff, and I was like, yeah, girl, just do a little bit of this and a little bit of this and you know this. And she's like, girl, like it's something better for you, you know? We were going to Europe, I think, and like we just bought so many freaking colors. And I was showing her like different swatches, and sometimes like it takes her like a minute to like warm up to things, you know? But like, I feel like immediately when she saw the range, it was like, this is what we've been looking for. Sometimes we need that like yellow with like a muted gold undertone, and sometimes we do want the neon yellow, but we want an option, and you had everything. We were so freaking gagged. But the color that I remember really got her, it was a bluish green. I think it was Moving Mountains.
Move Mountains.
We had this pixie. It just looked kind of like plain a little bit, I guess, and like we were going to dinner in London, and I literally like put it on there so freaking quick, and I was like, okay, here we go. I know you don't have glam. This and some sunglasses, you're finna eat. Like this is gonna be the whole look. And she put on that little pixie, you know, did her little zhuzh and put on those big Balmain glasses, and it just ate. It was everything.
Because of that, we've gotten fortunate to know you. I have been a really big part of all of this has been to do pro for Good Die Young, and a part of pro also is this creative color and what that means, and it was really important to me to kind of showcase artists like yourselves and me who have been doing this alongside other artists, and you know, I think it's a team effort, and I really want to showcase that it takes a team and it's not, you know, just the artists. There are other artists behind the artists that make this all move forward. But then we have a pro team now within Good Die Young. You are part of our pro, and it's a really great, like, amazing group of people and creatives. What does being a part of something like this mean for you, and like, what do you see and hope to get out of this experience?
Yeah, I feel like you really like hit it on the head of like what I felt immediately. Like when I even got the email, I was like, in this season of my life, I want to be seen. Like I want to be seen as an artist, but like you said, like not just always behind the artist. And I feel like being on this pro team, I feel seen. I feel seen by my peers, and I feel like I have like community that I've like longed for. I feel like it really helped me find like some community right now, and I'm so excited to even see how it's gonna be.
That part makes me really happy, because I mean, the biggest thing I think for me too is like, now I'm not behind the chair as much as I used to be. And that used to be a really big portion of my life, and staying connected to other creatives who do what I do. Since I've kind of been touring more and doing Good Die Young, which I'm very thankful for, that's gotten less and less, and I've noticed that it's actually made me really sad. I get so much creative from other creatives. I've been doing this for 2 decades, for 20 years. I continue to learn so much from people who have only been doing this for maybe a year. It really excites me to have a space to hopefully be able to connect just creatively with everyone that way, and kind of feed off of that and inspire. What I love the most is that you take risks, and I can definitely tell you that I know your work when I see it, and that's a gift. And I mean, I think that you need to hear that, and I think people need to hear that. It's really important to have this pro team to do something like that, and to have creative colors for us like this, because it's more than just the color, it's what it means for the community. It's like for Rico and her community and her fans, and her relationship with you, and how you've integrated this into both of y'all's relationships with each other and working as individuals. That's a really beautiful thing, to still be able to find things like that in the world right now. All I've ever wanted from this is just to inspire 12-year-old me. And like, if there's a 12-year-old that chooses to make a career in this and know that it can be a true career. I grew up in a trailer in nowhere, Michigan. Like, I never thought that I would get remotely, my career life would take me here. But you know what? It has, and it's all because of hair dye, you know, and I'm thankful for it, because
I've definitely like elevated though, like career-wise. I feel like once I did start using Good Die Young, I feel like I was so glad to get something so dependable that like, if I wrote down my formula of like what colors I use, you know, I could get that every single time. And I just saw it definitely like elevate the quality of my work for sure. Like the pigments was there. Even when, you know, we're shooting, or like when she's in big movement, like before that was like a big struggle of mine. Like sometimes like hair quality could be one thing, but the products you use are equally important. This changed my life.
Tyla, thank you so much for being here today. Hayley started it, but Rico and you are our first like creative colors. What y'all have together is really beautiful. It reminds me of Hayley and myself, and I think that that's really fucking special. Just want to thank you for being here and being a part of this.
It's been a pleasure. Like I'm obsessed. This color, I'm gagged. I cannot wait for the world to see it.
You're probably better at it than I am. You just tell me where you want me.
You look bonita.